Vrindavan Dham.
Okay.
Vrindavan Dham. I was in a village called Sukhdev, which is about 20 minutes drive from Dauji. Dauji is Balram's village. So I was addressing a small crowd there, and we were discussing the importance of Vrindavan. And many important aspects are there, but one very, very important aspect is that when we say that Vrindavan is not part of the Earth planet, it is a very serious, aspect to understand because Vrindavan actually it does not sit on the Earth planet. It is like 2 to 6 inches above the Earth planet all the time. So, and when Lord Shiva he does his tandav means the annihilation of the material universe. At that time, the entire material universe gets annihilated except for the Braj you know. So that is a great significant understanding and importance to know that Braj is a very, very special, place. Also, any activity we do in Braj is 1,000 times more potential than any other part of the world. Just like Andhra Prabhu was one of our 24-hour Kirtanias. He was blessed by Srila Prabhupada personally. And Prabhupada had asked him to start 24-hour Kirtans, literally 50 years back. And that 24-hour Kirtans is going on today also. So he was asked by the American Devotees, Andhra Prabhu used to do such nice Kirtans, why don't you come to America and spend more time there? And he said, no, because my one kirtan here, if you want to match that in America, you would have to arrange 1,000 kirtans at the same time. So that was a good example, that he gave. And there's a book called Kirtan Revolution, which is written by a group of devotees, and it's the pastimes of Andhra Prabhu, particularly relating to the 24-hour kirtans. So in there are many interesting aspects about Vrindavan, and I would recommend that if you can get hold of that book, please read it through, not one time, but umpteen times, because it's very uplifting, very enlightening, and very encouraging for every individual who reads that in terms of doing more Harinam, in terms of chanting more seriously, in terms of doing more service to Prabhupada's movement and to the mankind. So Akshaya Tirtha means never ending. It's something that is eternal. Like we say, our religion is actually Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal. So Akshaya is also eternal. It's never ending. It's ever growing instead, in fact. So anything that you do that is pious or anything that is positive, it is guaranteed to be successful. Why? Because the planetary system's constellation is so unique that whatever you do, it gives you a good start. And whatever positive or good thing, not demoniac activities. So, therefore, it is recommended that if you want to do something significant, something serious in your life, you want to start something new, may it be a business, maybe a new investment, or anything that is there that is in your mind that you really want to do. It's a good day to start. And at the same time, Srila Prabhupada would recommend, and devotees would recommend that anything that you do that is mundane, that helps you to be successful and bring in more money and can distribute more books and distribute more prasad, and that's wonderful. However, you should take a vow or you should take a sankalp that on Akshaya Tirtha day, I will focus on my spiritual life in such a way that it will grow consistently every day. Why? Because that is the most important aspect of our life for the soul. So, and to kind of verify this, the importance, we can see many important things that have taken place on this day, relatively, and started by great personalities. For example, Lord Brahma, he manifests the universe on this day. He starts the manifestation of the universe on this day. And then also each yuga, the yugas, starting from Satya Yuga, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali Yuga, all the 4 yugas, the starting day of each yuga is on Akshaya Tritiya day. So another significant thing, and that is of course related and monitored by Lord Brahma himself. Gangaji, when she comes to deliver all the living, souls, living entities onto the Earth planet, um, by the tapasya that was performed by Bhagirath Maharaj, and with the blessings of Lord Shiva, when Ganga lands on Lord Shiva's hairs or head, that is also Akshaya Tritiya Day. So again, very significant and important aspect that, like, when Gangaji plans or decides to arrive on the Earth planet, the beginning of that is on Akshaya Tritiya Day. The the beginning of Rath Kart each year, every time there is a Rath Yatra, each year the construction of the Rath Kart in Jagannath Puri, which is the most important Rath Yatra on the universe, we would say, um, that also starts on Akshaya Tritiya Day. Another significant example is of Sudama Brahman. He goes with a handful of cheap rice to visit Krishna, and in return for that little cheap rice, Sudama Brahman, receives a palace in Sudamapuri. So that was also on Akshaya Tritiya Day. Of course, Sudama Brahman, we all hear that he ate the chickpeas by himself and he didn't give any to Krishna. That's why he became poor. But actually, the fact is that Sudama was very, very merciful to anyone and everyone, and he was very, very, how can we say, he was very, very uh, conscious in what he was doing when he's eating the chickpeas, because when Durvasa Muni came to the ashram where Krishna, Balaram, and Sudama were performing their education or pastimes or lila, when Durvasa Muni came, he asked Bhiksam Dehi, and Guru Mata there, she did not have anything to give him. There was nothing in the kitchen. So she apologized that we don't have anything today that we can give you. And so Sudama, the Rasamuni, he goes into meditation and he sees a bag of chickpeas that she had hung for the boys as they would go out to eat. So he cursed. He said, anyone who will eat these chickpeas will become very, very poor. So Sudama hid the chickpeas, and then he thought, if I throw the chickpeas on the ground, and if animals or any insects will eat that, they will also suffer. If I give it to Krishna and Balaram, they are my friends. I cannot afford to have them become poor. So I have to somehow or other take care of these chickpeas. So then he took the tapasya on himself that it is better I am poor rather than somebody else becomes poor. Like we say that a Vaishnava is one who does not like to see anyone else suffer because of the Vaishnava's acts. So he decided that it is better he suffers. He didn't want Krishna to suffer. He didn't want Balaram to suffer. He didn't want other students to suffer. And therefore he took the chickpeas. And many years later, when he was very, very poor and he went to visit Krishna, why do we think Krishna actually went out of his way to wash his feet, to sit him on the throne, to take, such wonderful devotional care of Sudama? Because Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, and he knows and he knew that Sudama was so compassionate that he ate the chickpeas to make sure that Krishna didn't become poor. That was his consciousness. So again, Akshaya Tritiya Day, Sudama gives cheap price. He gets worshipped by Krishna. The queens are kind of baffled initially, and in return, Sudama receives a palace in Sudamapuri. So that's a significant example of the importance of Akshaya Tritiya. Um, in, um, in Vrindavan itself, Akshaya Tritiya Day is also was observed by Krishna and Nanda Baba. Nanda Baba was going to go to Prayagraj the day before Akshaya Tritiya Day. thinking that on Akshaya Tirtha day, I should be in Prayagraj and taking bath there. And Krishna, very mystically or very interestingly, he stopped Nanda Baba from going on that day, and he said, "You should go embark your journey on Akshaya Tritiya day from the Braj." But when he got up in the morning, Nanda Baba was astonished. He was surprised that Prayagraj personally was in Vrindavan, and he was taking bath. Prayagraj was taking bath in the Kund when Nanda Baba normally took a bath. So when the exchange takes place, Prayagraj explains that on this particular day, Prayagraj, all the holy personalities, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, even the demigods, they land in Vrindavan to take bath in Vrindavan so that they can be freed from many, many millions of souls who come and offload their sins onto these personalities. So that was a significant, lila performed by Krishna and Nanda Baba, so that everyone can understand that Vrindavan, Braj Dham, is not an ordinary place. It's a very, very, very special place. So like this, there is a never-ending list that we can see. If you Google in and see Akshaya Tritiya, you will see so many activities that started on this particular day. Like Lord Ganesh starts writing the Mahabharata. Vaman Dev blesses Bali Maharaj. Banke Bihari Charan Darshan is only once a year on Akshaya Tritiya day. So on the Akshaya Tritiya day this week, on Tuesday, Banke Bihari temple will be inundated with the devotees. There will be unlimited number of devotees. Queue will start all the way from Banke Bihari, will go on probably as long as ISKCON temple and maybe even beyond. That is the general rush of devotees that come to take Charan Darshan of Banke Bihari ji. So uh, even on the famous, Chandan Yatra uh, starts on Akshaya Tritiya day, and of course it was blessings of Madhavendra Puri, who was blessed by Krishna himself, that he started applying Chandan on this particular day. Madhavendra Puri, we should all be very grateful to him, because in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Madhavendra Puri was the first person who brings out the importance, the definition, and the greatness of Prema Bhakti, the devotional service. We talk about devotional service, but loving devotional service is something is of great importance. It is important to understand Krishna is hungry for our love. And what does that love mean? So that loving devotional service is something that Madhavendra Puri started. Before him, in the parampara, there was Prema Bhakti, but there was not loving devotional service. So that Prema Bhakti definition was brought in and explained to us by Madhavendra Puri, and then it goes to Ishwar Puri, then Lord Chaitanya personally comes, he goes all over the universe, and basically he gives that devotional love to everyone. Anyone he touched, it is said that anyone Lord Chaitanya touched, that person would vibrate with the holy name. And just like the fisherman also, he accidentally touched Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he was jumping and dancing with the holy name. Um, Lord Chaitanya, anyone he blessed, even like Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur was only a young gentleman, young boy actually. He said it, he was a teenager. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left a special seed of prem for him, which he receives uh, from Mother Padmavati. And once he receives that seed actually turns into a golden lotus boy in his hand. And then that golden lotus boy walks into Narottam Das Thakur's heart, and immediately his complexion becomes golden like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he starts dancing and jumping, chanting, dancing, and non-stop. And everyone was just astonished, amazed, and people, including his mother and father, the king and the queen at the time, they thought that Narendra Das was taken over by some ghosts, but they didn't realize that it was Lord Chaitanya's blessings. It took some time before everyone to realize that he has suddenly got connected to Prema Bhakti. So on this Akshaya Tirtha day, once again, I just like to remind you, it's on Tuesday and Wednesday. Starts on Tuesday and culminates on Wednesday. These are the times you should look at the times that apply in whichever country, whichever part of the world you are in, and you should definitely um, do or take some sankalp to do something very special, specifically spiritual is of spiritual importance. And Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesh Tad Dham Manan Vrindavanam. That means that Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesh is who? Krishna. And Dham Vrindavan, they are none different. So service that we perform in Vrindavan again, I remind everyone that is of great importance. It has great potential, great service. We are here. Golden Institute is here. London Institute is there in London, and we are working hand in hand. We are working hand in hand with many other devotees, including Narendra Krishna, Rekha Ben, the Vishnu Bhagwan Bhajan Mandal. There is a group from South Africa, and we are doing our best to establish as much service as possible. So we've taken a Sankal, for example, to do 108 water pumps on the Chorasiko's Parikrama, and we have installed 46 already in almost less than a year. Um, Many years back, I'm grateful to Nabinandan Prabhu that I was in Govardhan, and one young girl approached me and asked me, Prabhuji, can you save me? And I think most of you may have seen that video. And I was a little kind of struck back, and I asked, where is your mother or father? And the grandmother was there. And long story short, she was being forced to marry because there wasn't enough money in the family, and she was an very, very intelligent student. Her average was 93% and spoke very good English. And she said to me, Prabhuji, do whatever you have to get me sponsored, if even if it's a loan, something or another, so that I can become something in life. I can have a profession in life. I can help my family, my village, and I promise you, I will return you the money back. And then I understood that this Mona Gopi was very, very serious, and actually she deserved to get a chance. And I called Nabinandan Prabhu. I didn't even ask him if he'll sponsor her. I said, Prabhu, I've just sponsored this, young Gopika on your behalf. And his response was so positive. He said, wonderful, this is so nice. I get, sitting here in London, I get to do seva in Govardhan. And he said, go ahead, please go ahead and sponsor that girl. And next day, he called me and we had a discussion, and we decided we should actually start a program whereby we can help many, many girls who are sitting at home, and especially girls who are from poor family. Even in this day and age, they are being forced to get married at the age of 12, 13, 14. Now, as adults, we all understand that is not in an appropriate act to be performed, but they do because of poverty and because they cannot send the girls to school. So we have this program, and this is our top priority, that we want, to sponsor and support as many girls from these poor families, uh, and give them an opportunity to at least get education till grade 12. And simultaneously, we also give them education spiritually. We give them a list of slokas that they study and memorize. We give them 6 spiritual books by Srila Prabhupada, and we encourage them to study them. And also, we get the schools to appoint a teacher who is interested or very much inclined towards reading and spirituality. So that person works hand in hand with our monitor, and then we also get them to give classes to the students based on Bhagavad Gita and based on our Vedic philosophy given to us by Srila Prabhupada. And of course, there are many other things that we are doing. But I think at this stage, I can stop for a few minutes and give everyone a chance to respond. Or if anybody has any questions or compliments or experience that you would like to share, then you're welcome.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. If anybody has a question, please unmute, and one at a time we can ask Prabhuji. So if there's anybody who has a question, please unmute and uh, go for it, yeah?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Mataji. If anybody has a question, please unmute and one at a time we can ask Prabhuji. So if there's anybody has a question, please unmute and go for it, yeah?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. If anybody has a question, please unmute, and one at a time we can ask Prabhuji. So if there's anybody has a question, please unmute and go for it, yeah?
I can't see anyone. So if somebody is going to ask questions, you feel free to just pick up.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
say, this is me, my name is this, and this is my question, or this is my name is here, so, and this was my experience, and I'd like to share with everyone, or this is advice I'd like to give. Whatever is in your mind, please share with us. Also, one very important thing I missed out on is that ISKCON, was started by Srila Prabhupada in Jhansi on Akshaya Tirtha Day. He registered ISKCON initially as the League of Devotees. And then from there, he continued into New York. And later on, it was changed into its International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
Hasmukh Bhai has a question, I feel, or comment
Yeah.
here.
I just wanted to ask, Haribol,
Haribol.
in terms of all the activities that you're carrying out,
Yes.
the seva,
Uh-huh.
are there any main priorities, or do you have, like you were mentioning, sponsoring young girls or water pumps? And I've seen your activities with distributing saris for the elderly ladies. So do you have any listings in terms of what is more important for you? Or
I would say that, of course, they are all important. Taking care of widows, their mothers is important. Taking care of cows, they are also important. Taking care of blind children, there's some 60 blind children, we are helping them. But I feel that because we started with the Gopis project, and because these girls are very young, if we don't help them, they are going to be forced to get married, and they are abused. So that is of critical importance.
okay,
No, we at the moment we've gone through over 400 girls, and at the moment we are doing some 300 girls are in action. But there's a long waiting list, and if devotees can come forward, it's only like 200 pounds a year that you can give a child a life. 200 pounds a year you can give a child a life. And so often when people come to see me, I tell them, please just skip one pizza party, once a year, and you can give a child a life. So I think, of course, there can be many similar examples what you can skip. And I I will I think the top priority is Gopika project to educate the girls, and then water is also of great importance, because without water there is no life. If you see what people are going through in the villages, especially, you may not sleep for many nights. They're just thinking, how can this be possible on a planet Earth where there's so many educated human beings with so much money, and the government has also so much money, but yet these people in this village don't have water supply. So first is Gopika project, second is the water, and then of course others are of great importance also. Nabinandan Prabhu, maybe you may comment on this, what you feel.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. Gopika's project, the sponsorship is probably top of the priority, especially because we have the new academic year starting shortly. So we're actually in the process of trying to raise the funds to sponsor I think it's nearly 300 girls, but a lot of them are also in higher education now. And the
Yeah,
cost,
we have 19 at higher education, so an average cost per child is like 1,15,000, 1 to 1,25,000. So, and last year we had several people who have adopted some of these girls. So it would be good if we can have devotees who can come forward and help girls at higher education to go through their 2 or 3 years of course, and they, at that level, we do allow the families to interact. But up to the age of 18 and below, and that is grade 12, we cannot allow families to interact directly with the students for safety reasons and legal reasons.
So
Yeah.
just a quick question on this, because some people may be aware, some people may not be aware, is how exactly the project works. Say if you take the gopis, at the lower education or the higher education, and if they want to participate in that or any of the other program, how does it work?
Navinadan Prabhu, you want to compliment?
Yeah, basically what we do is London Institute of Vedic Education collects the funds, and we then also get the tax rebate, the gift aid, which will help us also to fund the educating of the girls. So roughly it works out at about 225, I think, pounds, which is about 25,000 rupees a year for those who are going through primary and secondary education. As Trikal Prabhu said, the higher education is about 115,000 rupees. So it's about £1,000. Again, if it's paid into live, then at least we can get the gift aid. And what we do with the gift aid is that helps us because we have to have some people who administer all this. You can't do this seva without people going to the schools, checking on the academic records of the girls, checking that the families are truly in need of such support. So we have to also support these individuals who are helping us. So these we give them a little bit of maintenance every month. So the gift aid helps us cover that. Is that okay?
So in that case, can I ask, in order for gift aid to work, you obviously need my details.
Yeah, we need a form signed by you, which basically says that you are a UK taxpayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do we get the form?
If you can maybe Narendra Krishna Prabhu, you can share Prabhu's details with me, and I will send you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Sorry, can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
Sorry. Do you have a scheme where we can actually donate on a monthly basis?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Many people are doing that. So I can send you the bank details, and you can set up the direct debit.
Okay. That's wonderful as well.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic support.
Thank you.
I think there's another hand up. Mataji, Subhadra Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'm Subhadra Preeti. I just wanted to ask, for if one gives a yearly donation towards supporting girls' education, how would we know? I mean, I have forgotten when the year ended, so I'm feeling very guilty that I never realized that, the time was right to pay again. So I think half of my question is already answered. Maybe a monthly direct debit can be set up, which I'm keen to do. Otherwise, do you contact us, Prabhuji, or we contact you when the year is over?
We do have a Gopi sponsorship WhatsApp group. You may not be part of that group, but I just sent a message in there about 10 days ago saying that the new term is about to start and if anybody would like to continue with the sponsorship. So we will contact you definitely, but you would, again, if I'm not aware of you and you're not in the group, then obviously we can't contact you.
So Prabhuji, I would like to join that group. Maybe I'll ask Narendra Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, please. If you could get him to send the details to me, and I will add you to the group. Thank you so much again. Very helpful.
Anybody else? Any other questions before we carry on? I had one question before we start. Is we said it's a good day to start our anything what we want to do. Sure. On the spiritual platform. How do we take a vow, or something that you can recommend or suggest?
Yeah, it's very simple. You just do a simple sankalp into your deities.
Mm-hmm.
You do your deity worship, or if some people may not have deities, they may just have some photograph. You can do the sankalp there and just write out something as to what your motto is, and then you read it out to the deities, and you ask them to bless you. So you ask the Guru and Gauranga to bless you. If you don't have photograph, you don't have deities. If somebody doesn't have, maybe there's some individuals living in singly or whatever, they can go to the temple and do it. And if they can't do that, then you can also do it mentally.
Thank you. And if one more, if somebody wants to do something in Brajtown, because obviously it multiplies by so many thousand times. Any particular seva, the services, anything that they can do on the day?
So, we have all the services going on. So, anybody wants to sponsor a gopi on this day, you please let Nabinandan know. If you want to do or sponsor a water pump, then they should also let us know, either through you or through Nabinandan Prabhu. And Annapurna, I forgot to mention Annapurna, since you're saying that. Annapurna Devi also was blessed on this day by Lord Brahma to be in a situation, a position whereby she can bless people with unlimited amount of food. So Annapurna Devi, she specializes in giving blessings to people who also want to distribute food. So if you want to distribute prasadam on this day, you want to feed the children, you want to feed the widows ashram, blind people's ashram, you want to feed homeless people on the streets, whatever you feel comfortable, you let us know. But let me know by tomorrow, because by Monday, in other words, so that on Tuesday and Wednesday I can organize. Okay. In case you decide on Tuesday morning, it's not too late. Just call Narendra Krishna or Nabinandan or myself, whoever you are normally working with, and then let me know. So I should know by Tuesday. So even by Wednesday morning, I can do that seva. Either Anna Seva or Go Seva. Go Seva is also Anna Seva, because you feed chara, you feed the green grass. That is also very auspicious. So anybody wants to do that, you please let me know.
Also, I was talking about the Go Puja, I remember reading somewhere in the scripture that donating a cow to the Brahmins.
Yes.
So maybe you can expand on that a little bit more.
Well, there are several things that you can do with the cows, mother cow. For Gai Mata, you can either send a feed for a day or of the amount you choose, and accordingly we feed the cows. You can adopt a cow in one of our Goshalas, or you can donate a cow. Now, I just like to spell out the difference between adopting a cow and actually donating a cow. When you donate a cow, it's like when you donate something, you're giving that away. So you cannot expect that you will continue getting control over what happens with the cow. That is donated to a Brahman. It's a Brahman's property, and Brahman does what he normally does with mother cow. And if you sponsor a cow, in other words, you adopt a cow in one of the Goshalas, then that is like 1 year's understanding. And in that case, you get reports on how that mother cow is doing. And I like to make this clear because often in the past I've had this challenge that people have donated a cow and then they want to know, day-to-day report or month-to-month report. It does not work like that when you donate a cow. You cannot chase a Brahman all the time. But if a cow is donated, it's adopted, then that's a different thing. So you decide whether you want to adopt or you want to donate.
Okay, so
or also Go Puja can be done. Go Puja can also be done. You can offer aarti and garland, and that will be happening in mass scale in the Braj. On the Akshaya Tirtha day in the morning, like everyone owns a cow, will be worshipping the cow, and those people don't own a cows, they will be going to the Goshala to worship the cow.
So just to clear the understanding, so you can do a donation on the day for feeding the cows.
Yes.
Or you can sponsor a cow for a month or a year, whatever you feel appropriate. Yes. Or you can do the special puja aarti on the day.
Yes.
Goshala. Or finally, you can donate a cow.
Yes.
Is that right? That's the main.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
So how does adopting a cow work?
Adopting a cow, normally our goshalas, we have cows, and each cow's expense per month, which is normally around 35 pounds a month or so. And then you give that either for the whole year, or you give each month on standing order. And then that for a year, that cow will be kind of what you make say that is one of your cows that you adopt for a year. It doesn't belong to you, but adopting means you are nurturing that mother.
Okay. Thank you. Has anybody else got any questions? Anybody else? Anything else we wanted to ask Prabhuji? Okay, we can carry on this. I think nobody's put up a hand or come. Yeah.
So once again, I'm just sending blessings from Vrindavan Dham. It's my privilege. I'm so happy that all of you came on the Zoom call, and my special wishes to all of you on Akshaya Tirtha Day. My special request that you please do some sankalp. I'm not necessarily that you must give a donation, but you must endeavor to see how you can make advancement in your spiritual life. It's very, very important. And because this is a special day, the constellations are very special. So it will certainly help you in making advancement in your spiritual life.
Thank you.
Okay, so
thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Nabi and Prabhuji, because I know you had a long Zoom call before and you joined straight onto this. He's organizing a very nice trip to Kailash. If anybody wants to go, end of July, end of August, then please get in touch with Nabi. And if anybody wants to do anything in Brajdam, either get in touch with Nabi, Prabhu, or myself, and we can try and organize, or just as Prabhuji just said, do a sankalp and let's see our spiritual life beginning even on better mode.
Thank you. Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. That was a really knowledgeable session, Trikal Prabhu. Very, very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And thank you all for joining and giving your time up on Sunday. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hari Bol.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.